out the road, so get out the way. Push the pedal to the floor, blow 'em all away. Yeah, you see I'm getting close, I accelerate. Going faster than fast, hit the gas, lose control. I won't crash, rolling high. Put your money on the dash, throw the die.
Welcome back, chess fans. In this video, plain and simple, how to beat the London as well as the Torre Attack. So what we're gonna follow with black is Alireza Firouzja, super player and very strong against the London. So he goes g6, and now you may say, well, c4, that's your king's Indian, but no, white goes for the London. All right, and here castle, bishop e2, and what to play with black. I recommend that system that Alireza plays, b6, bishop b7. So here we go, h3 played because white wants to retreat the bishop if attacked, bishop b7, castle d6. Let's pause for a minute. That bishop g7 is going down here, bishop b7, targeting this diagonal. We have a very dynamic position. a4 played. That's a typical London move. White wants to push a5. We let them do that. We do a5, and then we do c5. If white is pushing, we can always put our bishop over there. So c3 is played, and we play bishop c6 anyway. In some variations, we may push b5. So in the game, knight e3 was played, so typical of a London player, right? They follow their little recipes. If a6 would be played, you would do b5, followed by queen b6 with a nice game. And if, again, in this position, c4 is played, that would be dangerous because d5 and on bishop b7, a6, and you have to retreat your bishop all the way to c8. So here you would take to have some room, and on knight take, bishop e4 is nice. Remember that you also have e5 on top. So very nice. And on this move here, you would have many moves, but I like bishop e4 as an example. So in the game, knight a3, and now we take on a5. Now, if white had tried knight c4, very logical, we play a4. Good luck for white recapturing that pawn on a4, which we defend once and maybe twice. So bishop b5 is played, take, and here Alireza played queen b6, which is fine. I also like rook b8 here, and if white were to take, we go into this position, and this position is better for black. In the game, there was queen b6 played, and on queen a4, a6 is a move, and the knight has to retreat. We have a perfectly good game. We can play rook a b8, we can play e5 soon, we can take, we can do a lot of things, and it's up to you. You can even take on b2 and grab a free pawn. So anyway, this is very fine, a nice play against the London. Let's see the Torre Attack next. In this one, we're still following Alireza Firouzja with the black pieces, but we have a slightly different twist. So on g6, white goes for the Torre Attack. Instead of going to f4 the London, they go here. So we're gonna see Alireza doing something slightly different. Over here, he's gonna start by doing d5. The reason he's doing that is he wants to prevent e4 in this variation. So then, of course, we have a very similar London strategy that we've seen, except that the bishop is here as opposed to be on f4. And now, what do? The double fianchetto. b6, and on a4, the classic plan, bishop b7. And we have once again one bishop looking over here, the other one looking over there. a5, very classic move. h6, bishop h4. And now what? Very important, you want to get some counterplay with black. And Alireza plays the best move, g5. The bishop retreats, knight h5. And now we can see that on a6, you would move your bishop over here and you're controlling e5. So in that scenario, why did not push on a6 and play bishop e5? We take the bishop, we take over here, and we do knight g7. On a6, which is possible, we move the bishop to c6, and we have a fine position. So in this case, f4 was played, and now what? Well, we go for the attack, knight f5 with a simple plan, knight e3. And knight e3 is an absolutely very important threat. So winning an exchange, rook f3 to defense, and now very nice g4. And already move 17, black is better. So if you do rook f1, this is losing a lot of material. So that's no good. What if you do rook f2? Well, I'm gonna take over here. You move the queen, and I do d4. d4 control the e3, attacks over here. We have queen d5 on top. We have d3. This is a dream come true. So why decided to do that? So we take the rook, and what do? We play d4. Look at this bishop. Bishop targeting here in the game. That was such a nice flow to the game. Bishop c8, take, and here queen h5. Are we getting mated? Not at all. Rook c8, very nice coordination, and we win. I will just show you the end of the game. Why try to get some activity? We defend everything, threatening queen g3, checkmate. So why try to attack, and here we grab the material, and on e6, this was completely winning for black, and in this position, white resign. Over here, you have no hope. You can do d2, you can do queen g6. Everything is winning for black. So let's see another game. Okay, in this game, I want to show how Hans Niemann is handling the London with black. So Hans Niemann, kind of famous in famous, but in this game, he's playing against the London, which is also plays with white. So as a young and rising grandmaster, I want to showcase one of his games. He's playing against a very strong GM called Andy Woodward. And here, Niemann goes with e6. All right? Bishop a4, we have the London. And in this case, he goes b6. So he's going to have one fianchetto and instead of two fianchettos. Let's see how he does it. This is very classic of the London. Once again, your London player always comes with the same moves. This is the exactly same setup as in previous games. And now, what we do over here, we do rook e8, and we're gonna unleash e5. Rook e8, e4, threatening e5. What do? e5. Are we losing a pawn? Let's check that. Take. Bishop d6, all right? Take, and what do? We take on f4, as opposed to take back on d7. Bishop f4, check, castle, queen g6. Now we are down a pawn, right? But we have the two bishops. One bishop looking over here, the other one looking over there. So in this position, white will give up the pawn. Now, the move played in the game is knight f3. But let's say that you're white and you're trying to keep up the e4 pawn. What do we do with black? f5. Now, the obvious idea, if white takes, we have checkmate. And if white doesn't take, we're threatening to take. So here, we are defending, and we do king h8, and we have a fantastic position with, of course, always e4, e3. After we move the queen, we can play rook a d8, two bishops. I prefer black in this case. So white decided to give up the pawn. So we take on e4, and now we have this position. Do you like white, or do I like black better? I like black better because we have our rook lined up, the queen here looking at the king, the bishop is active, and we have more activity. Let's see the game. The game continues. Just to show you how easy to play with the black pieces. And with a3, we have a pass pawn and a lot of activity. And black ended up winning that game. So again, what a nice way to play with now the idea e5, giving up a pawn for a lot of activity. I think that reminds me of a hedgehog play with a nice rook e8 looking at the e5. Something to remember. Let's see one more game. Now in this last game, I want to showcase Stockfish game against another computer. So now you may say, why going from grandmasters to engines? Well, as in my previous videos have shown, the top engines are very much superior to any human being. So if you want to prepare openings, you have to use the chess engines. That's true at the top level, grandmaster level, and even at candidate master or expert level. You need to take advantage of engines showing you the way. So here I played specifically a London, and in this last one I also wanted to show the true London move order, which is really the start of the London. In this case, I set up the position by playing e6. I played this position here, and here I set up the position queen e7. And that's the same idea as in a Niemann case, where instead of doing bishop e7, castle, and rook e8, I go aggressively by pressuring e5. So e4 is played. That's very important. Otherwise, if you play queen e2, I'm going to play e4, and after bishop moves, I'm going to collect a piece. Thank you very much. So in this case, e4 is the right move, and I decided to let the computer play and decide what would be the best course of action. So if I played bishop h2, if you want to know, Komodo is playing with the white pieces, Stockfish 17 with the black pieces. And here, g6, what are we seeing here? Very interesting. Instead of doing the double fianchetto, which is bishop b7 and bishop g7, bishop h6. And what is the idea? Knight h5, knight h4. So let's see the game. We castle, c3, knight h5, a4. And here we've seen that the London players all want to play a4, a5, a6. And here we play a5 ourselves. Queen b3, fine. And here we do bishop f4. Because if white were to take, we're very happy to take. If they want to exchange like that, we have a very nice game. Because eventually we're going to prepare f5 with the knight on f4, the queen coming. We have all the prospects of an attack with white. So in this game, rook ad1 play, which is logical, f5. This is a dream position again. Take, take, And here we can see that black is doing very well. Queen c4 played, and here what were we doing? We exchange a pair of pieces and we play rook g8. Rook g8 attacks g2 once, attacks g2 twice, and we have the queen coming on top. What a position. f3 played, knight f8, nice move. And here you would think that de5 would be the move, but no, what's happening here is rook e2 played. Now on de5, I'm wondering what would be the move. Maybe the queen move. Maybe we play d5 even better, and when the queen moves somewhere, we would have queen c5, queen g5 with a very strong attack. And that pawn here is actually not very active, and we're gonna go for the attack ourselves. Anyway, rook e2 played, knight g6, d5, and now same idea, d5. What a move. And here we go c5, we go f4, and that pawn here is shielding white's attack. Therefore, we're ready to attack with the black pieces. The rest, I don't want to comment too much on the middle game, but you can see 1, 2, 3, attacking g2. At some point, this is gonna be absolute disaster. g4 played, and here white had to give a bishop, and this is completely lost. The question is, what would be the normal move someone would play with white? Taking on d4, of course. We would take on f3, what a move. And on g takes f3, how do we conclude? Take, rook h2, queen f1, double exclam points. On king takes f1, we have this amazing checkmate. Knight here, knight there, and the king is doomed. So again, d4, replaying the variation. We take, and over here we have a beautiful queen sack, queen f1, threatening, of course, queen g1 checkmate, and we finish with a knight checkmate. What a way to defeat the London with the black pieces. This is absolutely my favorite setup, and I really like this knight h5 followed by bishop f4. Very unique, very nice, and something that you can use in your own games. I hope you enjoy this medley of position. Firouzja, Niemann, and Stockfish defeating the London system. I'll see you in the next one.